Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate and I love all things makeup, beauty, skincare, and fun. Today we are going to be recreating this very soft, romantic Valentine's Day inspired makeup. If you're interested in this type of video, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And without any further ado, let's go. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be doing a quick little Valentine's Day tutorial. It's going to be soft and romantic, pretty easy to do. I hope you enjoy this type of content. We're going to start with our eyes. I like to start with my eyes primarily because if I make any faux pas, if any shadow falls down, it's very easy to clean it up and I'm not risking compromising my base makeup to do it. So for eyes today, we're going to go in with this one by Sigma. This is their new mod. And then this is what this looks like, just very soft, romantic berry tones. So certainly you can do something a little bit more neutral with this one if you wanted, but you can also, of course, go a little bit more berry with it. I think we're going to play with a little bit of both today. I did already prime my eyes. I used my P. Louise base in the shade 0.5, and I did prime my face today. I used two different primers. I went in with this one by Glow Recipe. This is their Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. And then I went over it with this one by Glowish. This is their Blur Jam. I am 34. I have combination oily skin and I have pretty severe texture throughout my T-zone. So pore filling is something that's like super important to me and my skin loves niacinamide. So those are the housekeeping things. We're going to start with the eyes. We're going to start out light and we're going to go in with this really light, almost bone-like shade called Preppy. And we're going to just use a Sigma E25 and put that into our crease. For reference, I do not personally set my eye primer. I like it to be like a little bit tacky because typically I am looking for more pigment and I would rather have to work a little bit more at blending but still have really great pigmentation than the alternative, which a lot of folks do. And you know, it's just, I think whatever technique works for different folks. A lot of folks will like set their eye primer because certainly if you set it, you're gonna get a little bit more of like an easy to work with base, but I prefer honestly doing some tapping to build up the pigment and then the swiper motions to really blend it out. The next shade we're going to go into is called New Mod, and it's that kind of pinky mauve shade. We're going to use honestly the same brush, and I tilt my head back just a little bit. I have hooded eyes, as you can see, so if I tilt my head back, I'm able to access my crease a little bit better in terms of like being able to be a little bit more precise. And then I just do back and forth in there, and then I can tilt my head back up to just kind of make sure that everything is going the way that we want it to go. We're now taking a little bit of a smaller and tapered brush, and we're going to go into this purple shade here called Voguish, and we're going to put that on the inner and outer part of our eye. I'm just going to stamp that in. I like to hold at the end of the barrel, especially with darker shades, because it's going to be less intense pigment and pressure being put on the brush, so there's like less intense pigment. I am somebody that gets really in the habit of holding the barrel closer down, and I'm of course then applying more pressure, and then things can just get a little silly kind of fast. So I find that if I hold it at the end of the barrel, I'm not applying as much pressure and I'm able to be a little bit more delicate and precise. And we're gonna just maybe take that, a little bit of that into the crease as well, just to build a little bit of depth. We're not going too smoky or dramatic, so we won't be using a ton of dark shades today, and I don't want this to be too over the top, so I'm trying to be really precise. And then for the center of the eyelid, we're going to go in with this really beautiful pinky purple shifty shade that's called Avant Garde. And honestly, I'm just going to use my fingers for this. Most of the time I will go in with a shimmer, or excuse me, a glitter glue, because I do think that that really punches things up. But where we're going, admittedly, for something a little bit softer and more romantic, I don't think that that would behoove us in achieving that look. So I'm just using my finger and patting and swiping into the center of the lid. Okay, I apologize. The lighting is getting a little cattywampus. It's golden hour here right now. So, or like golden hour is kind of like nearing its end, I should say. So the sun is kind of giving us a little bit of difficulty. So I apologize, but the show must go on. So we're going to go ahead and start working on our base. For concealer today, I'm going to go in with this one by Tarte. This is their Ultra Creamy Concealer. For foundation, we're going to go in with this absolute gem. This is by Hourglass, and this is their Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I have mine in the shade 2.5. I love this foundation. To apply it, we're just going to go in with a flat top kabuki. Certainly, I like this one just fine with a sponge as well, but admittedly, my sponge isn't wet right now. So we're just going to use the kabuki for right this second. I think I grabbed too much. In fact, I know I grabbed too much. So we might have to, in fact, go in with that sponge after all, but we're going to just blend this out. For contour today, we're going to go in with this one by Milk Makeup. This is in the shade Toasted. This is their Sculpt Stick. And we're going to just apply a bit of this before we powder our face. I'm just using this brush by Real Techniques. It's a little bit more of a dense brush. And I try to blend it upwards because if we're blending this way, it can drag the face down, and at 34 that is never the vibe that I'm going for. And then I do bring it down here just a bit because I'm trying to create an illusion, if you will, that my face structure is a little more sculpted than it is in real life. I'm now going to just go ahead and set my face with some pink brightening powder. I'm going to start under the eyes just because I'm trying to avoid any creasing. The specific pink powder that I'm using is by Jaclyn Cosmetics, which no longer exists. Hence, I'm trying to use it up, but certainly any setting powder that you enjoy would work just fine. For bronzer today, we're just going to go in with this one by Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade 02 Shady Biz. And I'm just going to use a Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is an L13 brush. And just grab a little bit of that. And this look is not super focused on bronzer, so we're not going to go in too dramatically with it. We really just want a little bit of life brought back to the skin. So we're going to just do a really light dusting. Okay, so for blush and highlighter today, they no longer make this as a duo. This is by Sigma. This is their Berry Glow Duo. They no longer make it as a duo. However, you can definitely get the highlighter and the blush separately. So this is what this looks like. It's just like a really beautiful formula, and I really enjoyed this like berry color. I think it's gonna tie in really nicely with the eyes. So we're just gonna go in, and we're not gonna go, I always say this, but you know, we'll see, but I'm going to try to not to go in too heavy-handed. This formula is really nice because it's a super blendable and buildable formula, so it's not going to get too intense too quickly. I'm going to go ahead and set my face. To do that, we're going to use this by Catrice. This is their Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. This setting spray is an oldie but a goodie. Do you remember? Comment down below if you remember when Taylor Wynn, she used, at that time she was the Taylor, raved about this because I have gone through so many bottles of this stuff because she recommended it. I really do think that it helps the powders to just like settle into the skin, and it leaves like a beautiful lifelike finish to the skin. I don't necessarily think that it helps with longevity. I think that that might be like a little bit of a drawback, but if that's maybe not your main concern, and your main concern is that you want your powders and your liquids to meld together and look like your skin and not be very obvious that you are wearing a ton of makeup, I think this is a great option. For highlighter, we're going to go back into this Berry Glow palette, and I'm going to use another Laura Lee Los Angeles brush. This is her L36. This highlighter is in the shade Sizzle. It has like a little bit of a pinky hue to it, and I really have been enjoying highlighters that have that pinky hue because I do feel like I can blend it and diffuse it into my blush instead of doing that really stark stripe that we all once knew. Some of us might have taken that trend really too far. Some of us might be me. For eyeliner today, I'm just going to go in with this one by Melt Makeup. This is their Slick Waterline Eye Pencil in the shade Rich Brown. For mascara, I'm just going to go ahead and apply this one. This is by Too Faced. This is their Better Than Schmecks mascara, and this is their chocolate brown shade. I do think that certain looks require black. Like, I feel like if I am doing something really bold and punchy, a brown mascara is not the move. But in something a little bit more natural, a little bit more soft and romantic, I think brown is the vibe. So for lip liner today, we're going to go in with one of my favorites. This is by Natasha Denona, and this is her I Need a Nude lip crayon. I don't know if I said, but this is her from her My Dream collection. She dropped the first collection. She dropped the MIDI $69 eyeshadow palette, and she also dropped this lipstick, which I am obsessed with. This is her My Dream lipstick. It's a super creamy and pigmented formula, and what I love about it is that if I have dry, crusty lips, I don't feel like this emphasizes it. In fact, I feel like the formula on this one is pretty pillowy and cushiony, and so it really minimizes any of those like yuckies that I might have on my lips. So I just love this. It's definitely not a cost-effective option, but I love it. I also, for my skin tone, I think this is a lovely shade. So this is our finished makeup look. Again, I apologize. It is literally... Golden hour is like unfolding before our wee eyes here. However, with like my tripod and everything, it's looking a little cattywampus, so I do apologize. But this is our finished look. I'm very happy with it. I think it was pretty easy, pretty effortless. Again, I'm somebody that is 34, combination oily skin with a lot of texture. So for me, my comfort zone is more is more. I like a more full coverage base, especially if I'm going to be like going out and doing things with like my friends or my partner. And for the sake of Valentine's Day, I felt like this is the move and this is the vibe. But if you're not that type of person, or you're just not trying to do all that, I think that this look can still work on a base that is less full coverage. So certainly don't let that deter you. I hope you found this video entertaining, enjoyable. Maybe it inspired you to pick out some things from your makeup collection instead of feeling like we have to run out and buy all the newest Valentine's Day makeup releases. I know that I fall prey to that so often, but thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And as always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.